Francis Chan's approach to genuine community and belonging. Imagine for a moment you're sitting in a bustling cafe, surrounded by people all engrossed in their own digital screens. You feel a bit out of place, perhaps even invisible despite being there. This feeling of isolation, of not truly belonging, is one many of us experience at some point in our lives. It's a common struggle we face, especially in today's fast-paced world where connectivity is everywhere yet connection feels so scarce. This is where Francis Chan's approach to genuine community and belonging comes into play. He's not just a pastor or a writer. He's someone who has navigated these waters deeply, offering practical advice and profound insights that can help anyone struggling to find their place in the world. In this video, I'll explore how Francis Chan's unique perspective can transform your journey towards a sense of belonging and meaningful connections. Let me tell you this, have you ever found yourself standing outside a church door, unsure if it's really for you? Have you ever walked into a social gathering, felt out of place, and left feeling disappointed? These moments can be frustrating, but they're also opportunities for growth. Francis Chan believes that these feelings are signs that God is trying to draw you closer to his community. But how do you navigate these waters and find the kind of belonging you crave? Francis Chan's journey began when he experienced a profound sense of loneliness and dissatisfaction in his previous church. He realized that while the church was full of people, it lacked true community. So, he embarked on a quest to redefine what it means to belong and to genuinely connect with others. His journey led him to rediscover the essence of community and to articulate a vision that could help others find their place within it. One of the most striking aspects of Francis Chan's approach is his emphasis on humility. He argues that true community doesn't happen overnight, nor does it require perfect individuals. Instead, it thrives when we embrace our imperfections and learn to love each other despite our flaws. Let me share a story that encapsulates this beautifully. Once, Francis Chan shared about a time he went on a mission trip to a remote village. Initially, he felt like an outsider, a person with too much knowledge and too little understanding of the local culture. However, as he began to interact with the villagers, he discovered that their wisdom and simplicity were invaluable. They didn't judge him based on his educational background or professional achievements. They saw him as a fellow human being worthy of respect. This experience taught Francis Chan that genuine community isn't about fixing others or impressing them with our abilities. It's about valuing each other unconditionally. This lesson resonates deeply with many of us who often seek validation through external achievements rather than building authentic relationships. Francis Chan challenges us to look beyond surface-level interactions and to cultivate a deeper, more meaningful bond with those around us. Another crucial aspect of Francis Chan's approach is the importance of vulnerability. He believes that true community requires us to be vulnerable, openly sharing our thoughts, fears, and struggles. This doesn't mean we expose ourselves without any boundaries, but it does mean we're willing to take risks and allow others to see us as we truly are. Here's an example from his life that illustrates this point. During a conference, Francis Chan shared about a time he was diagnosed with a chronic illness. At first, he tried to hide his struggles behind a mask of resilience. But then, he decided to be transparent about his condition. To his surprise, his openness created a space where people could relate to his pain and offer support. This act of vulnerability not only helped him cope better, but also strengthened his relationships with others. In today's world, where many of us are constantly seeking validation and approval, it can be challenging to be vulnerable. However, Francis Chan teaches us that vulnerability is essential for building genuine connections. By sharing our stories and our struggles, we create a foundation of trust that allows us to grow together. As Francis Chan points out, community is not just about having a group of friends or followers. It's about experiencing the love and acceptance of God. He encourages us to look beyond our immediate circle and consider how we can contribute to the broader community. For instance, he advocates for acts of kindness, both big and small, that can make a significant impact on someone else's life. A poignant example from his book highlights this concept. Francis Chan recounts a story of a man who started a soup kitchen in his neighborhood. At first, he received criticism and skepticism from neighbors. However, over time, the man's commitment and the tangible benefits of his actions transformed the community. People began to see the value of his efforts and started volunteering alongside him. This story illustrates how small acts of service can lead to significant changes in a community, fostering a sense of belonging and unity. But what about those times when we feel like we don't fit in or belong anywhere? Francis Chan offers a powerful reminder that our sense of belonging is not determined by where we are physically or socially, but by who we are in Christ. He encourages us to focus on our identity as children of God rather than on societal labels. When we recognize our worth and purpose in Him, we can find true belonging regardless of our circumstances. To reinforce this, let me share a personal anecdote. A few years ago, I found myself in a similar situation, feeling isolated and disconnected. I was going through a tough period professionally, and my social circles seemed to evaporate. It wasn't until I read Francis Chan's writings that I began to see myself differently. I realized that my worth wasn't tied to my job title or my network of acquaintances. It was rooted in my relationship with Jesus. This shift in perspective allowed me to reconnect with others and find a new sense of belonging. In conclusion, Francis Chan's approach to genuine community and belonging offers a transformative path for anyone seeking to build meaningful connections. His emphasis on humility, vulnerability, and embracing our identity in Christ provides a roadmap for overcoming the isolation and loneliness we often experience. By following his guidance, we can cultivate a deeper sense of belonging and live more fulfilling lives. So here's something you should know. Your journey towards belonging starts with acknowledging your need for community. It involves stepping out of your comfort zone, being open to vulnerability, and recognizing your worth in Christ. The next time you find yourself feeling out of place, remember that it's a sign of God's desire to draw you closer. Embrace these moments as opportunities to grow and connect with others authentically. Together, we can build a community where everyone feels seen, valued, and loved.